Halloween trivia. Hey, Uncle Buck. So, feeling a little bit better now compared to when I ended the stream last night, I assume? Kind of surprised you made it in at all. Kind of surprised you made it here at all. Hey, Gabrielle. Hey, Killface. Oh. Hi, Catherine. Well, hopefully you can come in later. Hopefully you can come back later. Hey, Buttercup. Hey, Grimace. So yeah, Uncle Buck. Hey, Jordan. Yay. Uncle Buck. Your Bears won, your Bulls won, your Red Hawks won. Hey, Jenna. Your town went 3 for 3 last night. So I'm saying I'm surprised that you actually managed to. They're actually here today. You prefer the Packers, Jenna? Well, then last night wasn't as nice for you. Blood pressure was so up and down. I don't know how I'm still alive on those Xanax. I think it's so high right now. I mean, I didn't realize you were high, but also I just. I didn't think you needed I didn't think you really needed a reason to get high. In other good news, I actually also figured out how to cheat in my game last night. After the live, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to. I like looked up sort of more detailed instructions on how to. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Jen. So I figured out how to modify, how to alter my stats. So I bumped up some of my stats. Most of my character stats actually. Hi, Rebecca. Need to be more cunning. Hey, Shirley. So next Saturday we will redo our date with Prince Zarad. Admitting you having low stats. I am sort of. Um, it kind of does, but I mean it's not that big a deal. Redo. Yeah, because when we tried it last night, he's just like, no, I don't want to. On second thought, I don't actually like you. So I altered stats enough to be like, how do you like me now, bitch? Side note, I did not alter my beauty. My character is still ugly. Didn't make it redo. Well, yeah, I just went back to an earlier save. I just went back. I just reloaded an earlier save. So next time we play, it should be easy enough for us to not miss anything. You can be ugly as hell, but if you're smart, logical, and calculated, that's the key to the keys of the kingdom. All right, Jenna. All right. Yeah, it's Spirited Away t-shirt, one of the ones that Uncle Buck sent me. You know what? In honor of Uncle Buck, dinner's in honor of you tonight. Fried chicken and potato wedges. Nice. Meanwhile, on my side, in honor of Uncle Buck and our team's winning, let's start with a Chicago trivia quiz. I expect most of us will get almost none of these correct. Uncle Buck should get a few. The rest of us will get nothing. Australian quiz? Yeah, all right, I can do Australia next. Hissing from the air fryer like a tiger, neat distraction. Question 1. What does the name Chicago mean? What does the name Chicago mean? Lake City, Onion Field, Trade Center, Swampland. Lake City, Onion Field, Trade Center, Swampland. Hot dog. Trade Center. Hot dog, Onion Field, Lake City. Trade, swamp. Bean. It's onion field. Chicago means onion field. Buttercup got it. What fort was established on the site of Chicago? Picked that because it was the funniest answer. What fort was established on the site of Chicago and later became the location of a massacre of settlers by hostile Native Americans? Fort Sheridan, Fort Laramie, Fort Douglas, or Fort Dearborn? Sheridan, Laramie, Douglas, or Dearborn? Dearborn, Douglas. Last one. Sheridan. It is, in fact, Fort Dearborn. In the 1880s, an employer created a separate community where his workers could become more productive. In 1894, a group of these workers went on strike in response to their employer cutting their wages but not reducing the price of rent in their homes. Who was their employer? Yep, company time, Chris. In the 1880s, an employer created a separate community where his workers could become more productive. In 1894, a group of these workers went on strike in response to their employer cutting their wages but not reducing the price of rent in their homes. Who was their employer? Rockefeller, Pullman, Carnegie, or Gould? Rockefeller, Pullman, Carnegie, or Gould? Rockefeller, Pullman, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Pullman. It is Pullman. Actually, Chris was incorrect. It was not Rockefeller. It was Pullman. What was the name of the fair held to commemorate the 400-year anniversary of Columbus discovering America for Europe? And because Chris said Ford was way later. Okay. That makes sense. Never mind then. What was the name of the fair held to commemorate the 400-year anniversary of Columbus discovering America for Europe? World's Columbian Exposition, Century of Progress Fair, Centennial Exposition, Exposition of the Three Americas. World's Columbian Exposition, Century of Progress Fair, Centennial Exposition, Exposition of the Three Americas. World Fair, Centennial, Three Americas. walked in, mine was the World's Columbian one. And you were correct, Grimace. World Columbian Exposition. The World Columbian Exposition. Not World, it wasn't the World's Fair. You were wrong about that, but the World's Columbian Exposition. The Great Chicago Fire. The Great Chicago Fire destroyed much of the city and killed hundreds of people. When did it occur? 1891, 1881, 1901, 1871. Great Chicago Fire happened. So yeah, 71, 81, 91, or 01. Happened in Chicago. Final answer. 71, 81, 91, 01. '91, 71, 71, 81, 01. It was, in fact, 1871. Norfolk, Virginia. In 1903, 602 people perished in a theater that caught fire. Though tragic, it led to increased fire safety in buildings in the long run. What was the name of the theater? The Seneca, the Navajo, the Iroquois, or the Dakota? The Seneca, the Navajo, the Iroquois, or the Dakota? Pussycat. Seneca, Iroquois, Iroquois, Seneca. We always pronounce it Iroquois as Iroquois. Iroquois. Pretty sure it is supposed to be Iroquois. AMC. We're Midwestern, we pronounce everything wrong. It actually is the Iroquois. Seven. Chicago is known as the meatpacking center of the U.S., but the stockyards of Chicago were not pleasant places. Upton Sinclair wrote a book describing the conditions of the Union stockyards. What was the name of this book? Upton Sinclair wrote a book describing the conditions of the Union stockyards. What was the name of the book? Native Son, Sister Carrie, The Jungle, Devil in the White City. Native Son, Sister Carrie, The Jungle, or Devil in the White City. Very good book. Definitely read it if you never have. Yeah, I've never read it. Obviously, it's a classic, but I haven't gotten around to it. I like the double title. It is The Jungle, which I've never heard of. I've never read it, but I have heard of it. You know, it is one of those classics of American literature. Question 8. Who became mayor of Chicago in 2003? Who became mayor of Chicago in 2003? Rod Blagojevich, Richard J. Daley, Richard M. Daley, or Harold Washington? Rod Blagojevich, Richard J. Daley, Richard M. Daley, or Harold Washington? Feeling classics out there? Yeah. Blagojevich. Blagojevich. Also, hello, Apir. Main thing I remember is didn't Blagojevich resign in disgrace due to a corruption scandal? He had a big corruption scandal, right? He went to prison. Huh. Apparently, Trump pardoned him. His sentence was commuted by Trump in 2020, and then he was pardoned just this past year. Anyway, he was governor. You're thinking of all politicians. I'm thinking of every politician from Illinois. I'm thinking every goddamn Illinois politician. So yeah, Blagojevich was governor, not mayor. Uncle Buck, this one you should have known. You should know who your mayor is, Uncle Buck. It's a pretty mayor. Yeah. I mean, I suppose I don't know who my mayor is. I don't know who the mayor of Cornwall is, but fuck Cornwall. But Chicago's a major city. It's Richard M. Daley. Funnily enough, his father, Richard J. Daley, was also mayor. Uncle Buck was born in 2004. So yeah, Obama's from Chicago. Yeah, and he committed war crimes. He should be in prison too. Question 9. Question 9. The Sears Tower was the tallest building in the US when it was built in Chicago. When was it built? When was the Sears Tower built? 1978, 1971, 1969, nice, 1973. 78, 71, 69, nice, 73. 78, 78, 71, 69, 73. 1970 was not an option. 1973. And finally, this one's easy. I think end of project. I think like when it was finished. And final question on Chicago. The Bears. Gross. Pretty close, Uncle Buck. What notorious gangster is most often associated with Chicago? What notorious gangster is most often associated with Chicago? FFG. Capone, Capone, Capone. Yeah, so the options are Arnold Rothstein, Carlo Gambino, Frank Costello, or Al Capone. Arnold Rothstein, Carlo Gambino, Frank Costello, or Al Capone. Did he end up with the syphilis in Alcatraz? Probably. I don't remember how he died. I mean, he did end up going to prison. I don't know if he like got syphilis or not. All right. So yeah, and the answer obviously is Al Capone. So next category. Rebecca had requested Australia, but I don't know if Rebecca's still in here. For a paper on the Valentine's Day Massacre in high school. He didn't die in prison. I remember that, but he was at the end of life by release or his release end of life deal. We could do controversies in chess. Who wants a quiz on controversies in chess? Pulsating anal beads. Sounds like Good Friday night. Chess is a high stress extreme sport, right? So yeah, Queen's Gambit was a good watch. Remember when Voodoo played chess on the couples channel? So yeah, categories. We made a category. Musicals. Dinosaurs. All right, let's do dinosaurs. Never met a dinosaur. Done what I've done before. I only saw Christmas last one. I mean, I don't remember most of the ones I've done before either. Screwed if it's not Rocky Horror, Little Shop of Horrors. I really need to rewatch Little Shop. All right, this is an easy dinosaur quiz. Or supposed to be an easy one. Question 1. One of the most common types of dinosaur to roam the earth during the late Cretaceous period was the Tyrannosaurus. What does this word mean? What does Tyrannosaurus mean? Tyrant lizard, speared snake, titanic reptile, giant pteropod. Tyrant lizard, speared snake, titanic reptile, or giant pteropod? Tyrant 1A. Tyrant. Tyranny. Yes, tyrant lizard. It is the tyrant lizard. Prior to 2013, scientists believed that Brontosaurus came from which genus of dinosaur? Scientists believed that Brontosaurus came from which genus of dinosaur? Allotosaurus, Apatosaurus, Aminosaurus, Allophtosaurus. Allotosaurus, Apatosaurus, Aminosaurus, Allophtosaurus. Also, there are pictures. And yes, Apatosaurus. Though that is not true. Though it turns out that the Brontosaurus is actually its own thing, its own genus. Related to the Diplodocus. Which species of dinosaur is believed to have been the longest in size? Which is believed to be the longest in size? Iguanodon, Seismosaurus, Eoraptor, Thyreophora. Also, picture. the dinosaur. Iguanodon, Seismosaurus, Eoraptor, Theriophora. So raptor, Iguanodon, Seismosaurus, raptor. Raptor has massive wingspan. Littlefoot. And once again, hey, Edmund, thanks. And once again, Grimace gets it, Seismosaurus, which means earthquake reptile. I think I learned that in Blippi. Number 4. Which of these describes the main diet? Supersaurus? Seismosaurus. S-E-I-S-M-O. S-E-I-S-M-O. Okay, Aper. Which of these describes the main diet of a velociraptor? Carnivorous, omnivorous, herbivorous, detritivorous, detritivorous. See it. Carnivorous, omnivorous, herbivorous, detritivorous. The main diet of a velociraptor. Herb, carnivorous, omnivorous, herb. Carn probs. Meat. I agree. And yes, carnivorous. Also, picture. Which of the following was not a type of flying reptile? Which of the following was not a type of flying reptile? Dimorphodon, pterodactyl, Plateosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus. Dimorphodon, pterodactyl, Plateosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus. And also, picture. Plate, 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 plate. And yeah, Plateosaurus. And I actually kind of like this one. I kind of like one of the options in this one. Question 6. Which dinosaur has a name that means roofed lizard? Which has a name that means roofed lizard? Stegosaurus, Megalosaurus, Thesaurus, Taurus. Stegosaurus, Megalosaurus, Thesaurus, or Taurus? Stegosaurus, Stegosaurus, or no, Thesaurus, Stegosaurus. I like that they threw in Thesaurus as an option. I like that they threw in Thesaurus as an option. That amuses me. The danger, the mighty and dangerous thesaurus. And the option is the Stegosaurus. Hey, pause. You know what? This isn't part of the quiz, but bonus question related to the Stegosaurus. What is the spike bit on the end of a Stegosaurus tail called? What's the spiky bit on the end of a Stegosaurus tail called? Morningstar. Spike. Hyperdapodon. Skewers. Mace. It's the Thagomizer. It's called the Thagomizer, which comes from Far Side. Comes from a Far Side comic. Now this end is called the Thagomizer, after the late Thag Simmons. Yeah, it's like it got adapted. It got adopted by the dinosaur community because it's one of those things. Where, like, I think it's one of those things where it's like Gary Larson made a dinosaur comic. Gary Larson made a joke about dinosaurs. Yeah, absolutely, we're gonna make that canon. It's one of those things where like, hey, that's our special interest. Anyway, love the Far Side. I need to check. I need to read. Like, I've seen a fair number of. Like, I have seen some Far Side comics, but not enough. I actually do need to like look up more of them. Because yeah. And actually, I should actually go to the site. He's been making more. All right. Goofy looking bastard. And here's the skeleton. Go to bed then? Aw. All right, Grimace. Anyway, question seven. T. horridus. T. horridus is a species of which dinosaur? Trachodon, Triceratops, Torosaurus, Parkia. Trachodon, Triceratops, Torosaurus, or Parkia. T. horridus is a species of which dinosaur? So you say Torosaurus. I will say, the image might give you a hint. This is the image they put for this question. That might give you a bit of a hint. Rhino. I don't know what kind of weird, fucked up rhinos you're seeing, Uncle Buck. Anyway, it's a Triceratops, since nobody's even trying to guess. Triceratops. Don't make me choke on my chicken. Yeah. Yeah. I choke my chicken every night. Twice on Sundays. Which creature was believed to be a transitional form between dinosaurs and our current day bird? Hey, Prairie Prize. Prairie Press, I mean. Hey, Prairie. Cardio is very important, yeah. Which creature was believed to be a transitional form between dinosaurs and our current day bird? Acrophilus, Astrodon, Erostean, Archaeopteryx. Dodo. Acrophilus, Astrodon, Erosteon, Archaeopteryx. By the way, if I'm mispronouncing any of these words, I apologize. But I don't really care enough to look them up. Whether I'm like, I may be mispronouncing them, but I sound confident when I say them. That's important. Anyway, it's the Archaeopteryx. The name Brachiosaurus. Pronunciation is fine. You actually did insanely good, but you are one. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. How does that look like it would sound? How does it look like it would, how does it look like it would? I'm just a good reader. I'm a good reader. The name Brachiosaurus, translated into English, means arm lizard. Why was it given this name? Why is the Brachiosaurus called arm lizard? Its front legs were shorter than its hind legs. Its front legs were longer than its hind legs. It had two horns growing out of its front legs. Or its front legs would regrow if they were lost due to injury. Considering the size of a Brachiosaurus, that would be a hell of a trick. So yeah, front legs shorter, front legs longer, front leg horns, front legs regrow. The big ass front arms. And yes, front legs were longer than. Finally, question 10. Paleontologist Henry Fairfield Osborn named me in 1924 because he thought I stole dinosaur eggs and ate them as part of my diet. What was I called? So, named because it was believed to steal dinosaur eggs and eat them. Ovum raptor, oviraptor, egg raptor, row raptor. Ovum raptor, oviraptor, egg raptor, row raptor. Low riders with big necks, like twice the size of the body. And it's the oviraptor. Is that Greek in the names? I messaged her earlier to see how she's doing, how she's feeling. And she said she's feeling fine. She's feeling feeling better. All right, next category. She must be on stream. I watched her. That's funny. Category. We need a category. Give us a category. Give me a category. Category, people. Lions can jump really high. She showed the meme I just sent her. Lions aren't very good climbers, but they can jump 36 feet. And somebody says, no, they can leap 36 feet. As in leap forward 36 feet. They don't jump 36 feet into the fucking sky 6 feet. As in leap forward 36 feet. They don't jump 36 feet into the fucking sky. Do you know how terrifying that would be? The human race wouldn't have survived because we'd have all had heart attacks while still in Africa. And then someone made an image of a lion falling down towards some some giraffes from above. All right, so Shelley says music. Catherine says earth science. We did just do a Catherine category, so okay. 3.5 stories. So Shelley, music. Be more specific. Hey, Bella. '80s music, which I think we have actually done before, but okay. All right. All right, so here's one. 10 most popular songs in the US as determined by the Billboard Hot 100 charts for the 1980s. So, song 1 or 10. You know, I feel so dirty when they start talking cute. You know, I feel so dirty when they start talking cute. This song, about a guy pining for his best friend's gal, was inspired by the singer's real life experience. Do you remember the hit that soap opera star Rick Springfield took to #1 in the summer of 1981? Affair of the Heart, Dirty Diana, A Woman Needs Love, or Jesse's Girl? Affair of the Heart, Dirty Diana, A Woman Needs Love, Jesse's Girl. So we seem to have a bit of an agreement. Gotta put that weird inflection on Jesse. It is Jesse's Girl. Next one. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? The entire nation was on the edge of its seat when this song became the all-time biggest hit in the United States for the rock group Queen. What classic song did they take to #1 in October of 1980? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Free Fallen, We Are the Champions, Another One Bites the Dust, Emotional Rescue. Bow, bow, bow. Another one bites the dust. Bow, bow, bow. Another one bites the dust. And another one's gone, and another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey! This obviously, putting Fat Bottom Girls in my running mix now. Good song. Next question. Next song. Roll me in designer sheets. I never get enough. Roll me in designer sheets. I never get enough. This song has quite a pedigree. Number one song of 1980. On Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Performed by a recording act who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006. Jesse's Girl. Can you name this hit single in which Blondie sings the title in French, Italian, and, of course, English? Cover Me, SOS, Help Me, or Call Me? Cover Me, SOS, Help Me, or Call Me? One of the most beautiful women I've ever met. I gotta get water. Be back in a minute. House Girl. Anyway, the answer is Call Me. Blondie is also one of those people who's just like, or Debbie Harry. Debbie Harry's one of those people who just like, she'll hear a style of music and be like, yeah, sure, that seems like fun. I'll try that. And then just fucking knocks it out of the park, Really cool lady. She is. Next one. Next song. Those soft and fuzzy sweaters, too magical to touch. Those soft and fuzzy sweaters, too magical to touch. This song, about seeing your high school crush's picture in a magazine, captivated America in the spring of 1982. Spending 6 weeks at the top, what smash hit about My Homeroom Angel left everybody's blood running cold? Centerfold, Freeze Frame, Photograph, Don't Stand So Close to Me. Centerfold, Freeze Frame, Photograph, Don't stand so close to me. And yes, Jay Giel's band. Cool shirt. Thanks, Boop. You wrote angles. Oh, angle has a centerfold. And yeah, centerfold. A song that I know of, but have never actually listened to. True of a great many 80s songs. Next, rising up, straight to the top, had the guts, got the glory. Abracadabra was #1 stripper song of its day. Rising up, straight to the top, had the guts, got the glory. I spent most of the summer of '82 blasting this song from a tape recorder, while my friends and I reenacted scenes from the movie it came from. I must say I played a mean Clubber Lang. What adrenaline-pumping classic did Survivor take to #1 for 6 weeks that year? Burning Heart, The Streak, Glory of Love, Eye of the Tiger. And yep, Eye of the Tiger. Next one. Now I hear the music. Close my eyes. I am rhythm. Now I hear the music. Close my eyes. I am rhythm. From what movie did Irene Cara sing this title song? Fame, Flashdance, Free Willy, or Footloose? From what movie did Irene Cara sing this title song? Fame, Flashdance, Free Willy, or Footloose? I'll give the rest of the clue, actually. Here's the rest of the clue. This song came from a movie that reached out to all those female welders who long dreamed of dousing themselves on stage with a pail of water. That should tell you what it is. Trenton early and took a nosedive. So, yeah, Fame. So again, the options: Fame, Flashdance, Free Willy, or Footloose. Now that I've given you the context of lady dosing herself on stage with a pail of water. Fame, Flashdance, Free Willy, or Footloose. Don't Free Willy on YouTube. Yeah, that'll get you. That'll get you demonetized. That'll get you a channel strike. Anyway, Flashdance. Next one. I dream at night. I can only see your face. I dream at night. I can only see your face. Regarded as a sweet love song by many of its fans, this monster hit has been called by its writer and singer a nasty song all about ownership and jealousy. Smash hit that Billboard named the number one song of 1983. I Will Always Love You, Wrapped Around Your Finger, Every Breath You Take, You Keep Me Hanging On. Every breath Jesse takes. And yeah, Every Breath You Take. Every little thing does magic. Magic message in a bottle. Under your spell. Next question. This one is actually asking for the artists. I'll hold you in my arms. I can't resist your charms. I'll hold you in my arms. I can't resist your charms. As one of the most popular love songs of the 1980s, this single remained at number one for an amazing 9 weeks in 1981 and became the biggest pop hit for Motown Records. Do you remember who sang Endless Love, the biggest movie soundtrack song of the decade? So the song is Endless Love. Who sang Endless Love? Denise Williams and Johnny Mathis, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., Mariah Carey and Freddie Jackson. Denise Williams and Johnny Mathis, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., Mariah Carey and Freddie Jackson. Lionel Ross and Diana Ross. Lionel Richie wishes he could have been Lionel Ross. Jesse Ross and Jesse Ritchie. And yeah, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. She's pure as New York's snow. Can Lionel jump 36 feet? Next song. She's pure as New York snow. Originally recorded by Jackie DeShannon in 1975 as a honky tonk tune, this song didn't initially impress singer Kim Carnes. It was only when musician Bill Cuomo created an arrangement with a new synthesizer feel did she go, "That's it, no shadow of a doubt." And she knew she had a hit. What song did she keep at number one for 9 weeks in the spring-summer of 1981? New York snow is radioactive waste. Betty Davis Eyes, Boy from New York City, Voyeur, Bad Girls. Betty Davis Eyes, Boy from New York City, Voyeur, Bad Girls. The JoJo Siwa cover. Jesse Davis eyes. Lou Ferrigno thighs. And get Betty Davis eyes. There's nothing left to talk about. Betty Davis was a straight 10 out of 10. So yeah, final question, final song. There's nothing left to talk about unless it's horizontally. There's nothing left to talk about unless it's horizontally. The number one song of the 1980s spent an astonishing 10 weeks at number one in 1981, 1982, and helped inspire a fitness craze across the world. Banned on some radio stations at the time, the song and its suggestive lyrics roughed up the squeaky clean image of the woman who sang it. FFG's channel is gone. Can you recall what word was substituted for the title? Can you recall what word was substituted for the title during the last chorus of Olivia Newton-John's biggest hit? Sexual, manual, ephemeral, animal. What word was substituted for the title during the last chorus? Sexual, manual, ephemeral, animal. Jessica will. I'm gonna listen to her old streams while cleaning with you. It was good. He hated working out in the 80s. Substitute. Take a guess. It is actually animal. In the last chorus, she says animal. Which is there is there like a Sesame Street parody with or Muppet? Like, was there like a Muppet parody with animal? All right. New category. We need a new category. Hey, Rebecca. You ready? I mean, it's masking. I remain deeply depressed. Do have weakness, Canada Man, apparently. How about this one? Which came first? A which came first category quiz. This one seems interesting. It's just, it basically, this is going to be 50-50. The egg. So yeah, this category, this quiz is just going to be 50-50. Which came first, Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny? Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny? Jesse. And yeah, Mickey debuted in 1928. Bugs debuted in 1940. He's so fine, he blows my mind. Gonna run this joke into the ground. Pretty sure you already have, Buttercup. Trick question. Airplane or light bulb? Which came first, the airplane or the light bulb? The airplane or the light bulb? And yes, it is the light bulb. Light bulb came 1879. Airplane came 1903. Which came first? Minecraft or Fortnite? Minecraft or Fortnite? Obviously Minecraft. Minecraft released in 2011. Fortnite released in 2017. Vincent van Gogh or Pablo Picasso? Vincent van Gogh or Pablo Picasso? I actually don't remember myself. Vincent van Gogh or Pablo Picasso? I actually don't remember myself. Van G. Hey, Raquel. Jesse Van Gogh. It was Van Gogh. Van Gogh was born in 1853. Picasso was born in 1881. Monopoly or Clue? Monopoly or Clue? And yes, modern version of Monopoly first came out in 1935. Clue first came out in 1949. Super Bowl or World Series? Football's Super Bowl or baseball's World Series? Which came first? World Series, World Series, Super Bowls. Buttercup, Got any Jesse-related puns for this one? Jesse's Bowl, Jesse's Series. Anyway, it was the World Series. First World Series was played in 1903. First Super Bowl was played in 1967. Well, this is an easy one. Superman or Spider-Man? Hey, Brooka. Superman or Spider-Man? Who came first? Jesse Man? Superman? Jesse always comes first. That's why we're trying to steal his girl from him. I mean, Superman is pretty great, though, Catherine. And yeah, Superman, 1938. Spider-Man, 1962. That said, Superman is actually really great. Rubik's Cube or Magic 8-Ball? Rubik's Cube or Magic 8-Ball? Eight ball. I'm leaning towards 8-Ball myself. Fingering out the Manatee Perfect. I mean, he's aspirational. Anyway, yeah, it is the Magic 8-Ball. First released in 1964. Rubik's Cube. First designed in 1974. First released in 1980. Which came first? The Hindenburg disaster or the Titanic sinking? The Hindenburg or the Titanic? And yes, pretty obvious once you think about it. Titanic was 1912, actually. You're a little bit off, Uncle Buck. Titanic sank in 1912. The Hindenburg was 1937. Oscars or Emmys? The Oscars or the Emmys? This is another one that should be easy as soon as you think about it. Okay, the Oscars. Movies predate television, so the Oscars movies predate television. So yeah, the Oscars first held in 1929. Emmys began in 1949. No, that's pretty easy if you're a history buff. The Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, or the Colosseum in Rome? The Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, or the Colosseum in Rome? Any history buff will know this one. Pyramid by lot, pyramid, Rome. And yeah, the Great Pyramid. Great Pyramid of Giza was completed about 2560 BCE. The Colosseum was built about 70 CE. Verakufu. Star Trek or Star Wars? Star Trek or Star Wars? Getting back. Welcome back, Shelley. So yeah, which came first? Which came first, Star Trek or Star Wars? And yeah, Star Trek. Star Trek came out 1977 or 666. Sorry, Star Trek came out 1966. So yeah, the original Star Trek series debuted 1966. Star Wars 1977. Bach or Beethoven? Bach or Beethoven? Another one I don't remember. I don't know. Classical music is not something I know very much about. That's the one I knew and came back in chat for one I didn't know. Bach, Beethoven, Bach. So people mostly guessing Bach. Yeah. Bach was born in 1685. Beethoven was born in 1770. So Bach predates him by like a century. Which came first? The computer mouse or email? The computer mouse or email? You're a Paganini girl. Mouse, email. Jesse's mouse, email. Wow, split 50-50. Gotta love the Devil's Violinist. And it was, in fact, the mouse. The prototype mouse was created in 1964. First email was 1971. I actually thought email. I assumed email first, actually. Uh, domestication of dogs, domestication of horses. Which came first, the domestication of dogs or the domestication of horses? Horses, horses, dogs, dogs, dogs. Jesse, dog. Yep. Domesticated dogs about 15,000 years ago. Horses about 6,000 years ago. Which came first, the state of Arizona or the state of California? Really cool archaeological finds around both species. I would imagine. Yeah, state of Arizona or state of California? State of Jesse. California, California, Cali, Cali, California, Cali. Yeah. 18F Cali. Yeah, California joined in 1850, Arizona in 1912. The last of the lower 48 states. The last of the contiguous states. The last of the 48. Sesame Street or Saturday Night Live? Sesame Street or Saturday Night Live? Got to build that railroad. Nah, US fucking hates rail these days. Sesame Street, Sesame, Sesame Street, SNL, Sesame. Sesame Street. Nah, Sesame Street was earlier than I thought. Yeah, Sesame Street was 1969. SNL was 1975. I knew SNL was 1975. I thought Sesame Street came a little bit later than that, but no, 1969. 69, baby. Nice. Suez Canal or Panama Canal? Suez Canal or Panama Canal? Suez, 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 Suez. Panama. Suez Canal was completed in 1869, while the Panama Canal was 1914. So Suez Canal came first. Mario or Pac-Man? Mario or Pac-Man? Which came first, Mario or Pac-Man? Waka, 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 waka. Yeah. Pac-Man, 1980. 1981. Donkey Kong, which, was the first, was Mario's debut. Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar? Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar? Alex or Julius? Alexander is my guess, though. Little Caesars. Again, one that any history buff will know. Just yes. Alexander was born in 356 BCE. Julius Caesar was born around 100 BCE. Alexander the Great predates him by about a quarter of a millennium. Toyota Prius or Apple iPhone? Toyota Prius or Apple iPhone? I know the iPhone was around 2005, I want to say. I don't remember when the Prius actually, like when the first Prius came out. I feel like it was pretty close in time. iPhone, Prius, phone, Prius. I am guessing Prius by a very small amount. Oh, actually, more than I thought. I also lived through a Christmas. I was there when the iPhone was first released. I was working for an American. I was doing customer service for a U.S. cell phone company when the iPhone was first released, and it was actually a little later than I thought that the iPhone was released. Prius came first. Prius was released in 2000. The iPhone debuted in 2007. For some reason, I thought the iPhone came out a little bit earlier than that. I was thinking like 2005 or 6. You were in high school? Yeah, I was in high school when the Prius was released. But like I said, I was working for you. I was there when the iPhone first came out. Oh, 07, you were in middle school. I remember everyone losing the game. Actually, come to think of it, yeah, 2007 makes sense because 2004 I started and like, yeah, 2005 I would have been night shift, so it wouldn't have been then. Anyway, final question. And only 15 minutes, so let's make it the final question of the evening. Final question of the evening. Which came first? U.S. military desegregation or Major League Baseball desegregation? Which was desegregated first? The U.S. military or Major League Baseball? Final Jesse of the night. meet the end, yeah. For the very final question, Killface, which came first, U.S. military desegregation or Major League Baseball desegregation? Catherine says MLB. Shelley says military. Grimmer says military. Uncle Buck says baseball. Killface says MLB. So Jackie Robinson joined the LA Dodgers in 1947, breaking MLB's color barrier. Yeah, Robinson was exactly. Jackie Robinson was 1947. And then Truman issued an executive order banning segregation in the U.S. Armed Forces in 1948. So Jackie Robinson was 1947. U.S. military desegregation was 1948. Jesse Owens. Gotta go pee. I'll be back in a minute. And I'm back. Go on record that I do not care that Home Alone star Daniel Stern solicited a prostitute. I also don't care. I'm not going to shame someone for using a hooker. Good night, Catherine. Girls went back to college today, so I spent all day cleaning the house and just got done. Did you have a fun time cleaning the house? Want to do nothing today but live? So, anywho, fun time, fun time. They're going to do an X-Men trivia. That I'll probably do for a video. That'll probably do for like a Patreon. Just find an X-Men trivia video on YouTube and do that. Won't know if you cheated. I won't cheat. I won't cheat on the quiz. I did a Star Trek quiz and I was obvious, I was clearly like, oh shit, I don't remember that one. I don't know. I have no idea what the answer to that one is. Always be cheating. No, no, no. Always be Jesse. Stop cheating at Wordle. Cyclist change today. Wordle kicks my butt. Never played Wordle. It's one of the New York Times ones, right? Fuck the New York Times. I know it is an online game. Oh, not the NYT one? Okay, fair enough. Because I like having levels. Jesse. Thanks, Buttercup. Just soon tight. So one of the early questions, there was a question, like we were doing an 80s music quiz, and the first question, the answer was Jesse's Girl. So Buttercup just started saying Jesse's Girl is the answer to everything, and then just varied it to just Jesse's whatever. Your feet are cold. X-Men quiz now. Like I said, the X-Men quiz I'm just going to do on Patreon. I'm just going to make a Patreon video for that. I'll find a YouTube video that's an X-Men quiz, X-Men trivia quiz, and I'll do it that way. Just record a video and put it on Patreon. Getting up is pretty awful. And yes, good night, everybody. See you tomorrow for basically nothing. See you tomorrow for nothing in general. Good night.